Election results are rolling in tonight, and we have the numbers from state, county, and city contests all across the 4 states. This is KOAM News at 10. We start in Kansas with the U.S. Senate race for outgoing Senator Pat Roberts' seat. Roberts is retired. This has been back and forth a bit tonight, but Roger Marshall, the Republican, now is opening up a fairly comfortable lead over Bollier, the Democrat. Southeast Kansas native Jake LaTurner is looking for a ticket to Washington tonight as he faces off with Michelle De La Isla and LaTurner. Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe facing a challenge from Democrat Alyssa candidate, but Kehoe appears to have this one well in hand. Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmitt is seeking re-election and looks like he's going to get it well out in front over the Democrat Rich Fenneman. Congressman Billy Long, he's represented Missouri's 7th district since 2010. And it looks like he will continue to do so. He has 91,000 plus to only 22,000 plus for the Democrat. Vicki Hartzler looks to retain her seat in the House, representing Missouri's 4th district. Hartzler also has a comfortable lead at this point, 135,000, more than doubling her nearest opponent. Voters in Missouri tonight also deciding a couple of constitutional amendments. As you heard, Amendment 1 would impose 2-term limits on the state's lieutenant governor, attorney general, auditor, and secretary of state. Voters at this point say no to that, but it's still a fairly narrow margin. Amendment 3 would change a redistricting process that voters approved back in 2018. Voters tonight saying yes, they want to make that change. Oklahoma U.S. Senate race. Jim Inhofe is the incumbent, the Republican in that traditionally red state, and as you see, he has a comfortable lead over the Democrat. Abby Broyles appears to be heading toward re-election. U.S. congressional member Markwayne Mullin faces a challenge tonight from the Democrat Lanier, but Mullin, again, way out in front and appears to have that one in the bag. Oklahoma voters had a state question that would prohibit courts from considering prior felony history during sentencing. The numbers on this one, they're saying yes by a pretty comfortable margin. That is apparently what they want. Numbers of another sort, more election coverage straight ahead. We have a number of sheriff's races on the ballots tonight, and we're starting in Crawford County, Kansas. The incumbent, Danny Smith, will remain sheriff after defeating the Republican challenger, Carlinger, by about 1,000 votes, 1,000 votes plus. Bill Martin, the Republican incumbent from Bourbon County, the sheriff there, tonight wins his race against the Democrat, Mike Fegans. In the race for Neosho County, Kansas Sheriff, Greg Taylor, he won tonight over his Democratic challenger, Kelly Stanley. Jeremy Floyd is the Republican sheriff in Ottawa County. David Dean apparently is the winner there. We understand that Floyd has conceded the race to David Dean on his Facebook page. Continuation of a sales tax for revenue of 0.5% to finance ambulance services and maintain county buildings. This was a Cherokee County question, and at this point, we don't have any numbers, but we will get those to you when we can, perhaps on our Facebook page or on our website. Another question, this was in Carl Junction. It requires a simple majority to pass concerning a 1/2 cent sales tax for employee salaries and facilities for police. Again, we're still waiting on numbers on this one. This is an issue out of Seneca, Missouri. $5.5 million to renovate the Performance Arts Center and construct track and softball, baseball, combined fields. It required more than a simple majority. It required 4/7, but it got it easily. As you can see, a wide margin voters say, yes, we like that idea. We are going to take another moment to catch our breath on this generally breathless night. Nick's weather is next. Before we wrap up, we're going to update a few key races from the four states, four in particular. First, the U.S. Senate race from Kansas. This one was closely watched across the nation. The Republican, Roger Marshall, wins that open seat. The Associated Press tonight calling the race for 2nd Congressional District in Kansas. Southeast Kansas native Jake LaTurner is on his way to D.C. He defeats the Democrat Michelle De La Isla. In the race for Missouri governor, the incumbent Mike Parson wins. Associated Press calling this one Mike Parson defeating Nicole Galloway. And we're going to look at amendment number 3 in Missouri. It did a number of things. Most notably, it had to do with redistricting and the voters saying yes to that. Checking back in with